Hey everybody, this is D Hunter for another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Neca, the Invisible Man, Dr. Jack Griffin Ultimate Action Figure. This is the second different sort of version of the Invisible Man they've made, or at least a second different look he has had. I got this from Target.com. It's available now. I've seen it at Target stores as well, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, it's from the Invisible Man, Dr. Jack Griffin Ultimate Action Figure. Here he is with one of his signature looks, the robe, the wraps, the sunglasses. One side of the package, here he is posed up. And the other side, a little bit of a different look. On the back, we have a bunch of different accessories, different display options. At the bottom, there is the barcode, if that helps anybody. So this is one of NECA's Ultimate figures. Window box packaging, you can hear the Velcro as I open it up. On the inside flap, we have the Invisible Man posed up. And then here is the figure. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He has 5 alternate hands, totaling 7 interchangeable hands, 5 heads, some extra wrap, an alternate front of his shirt for his chest area, some fire tongs, and some books. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Dr. Jack Griffin from the Invisible Man himself, and this is one of his 2 main looks. One is in sort of a suit, and one is in sort of a robe. This is a robe look, and it looks pretty cool. This is almost my preferred look for him, although I'm a big sucker for suited guys. So let's take a closer look. Start with his face here. He's got the bandage wrap all around him, so you can kind of see where he is and what he looks like. Sunglasses on top. He's got a sort of scarf thing going on here. And then we have his robe. Looks like we have single jointed elbows, single jointed knees. He's got almost pajama pants under there. We have dress shoes. He's got gloves on so you can see where his hands are. I like the color scheme, the brown, the different sort of color on the sort of rope there. As a whole, he looks good. I imagine the articulation is going to be quite subpar, as he'll be hard to access legs, and the torso appears to be one solid piece. But I don't need a super articulated Spider-Man type with Invisible Man. It was definitely not like that in the film. This looks pretty cool as is so far. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I like the detail on the wrap. It all looks pretty good. And then, here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start off with his hands. He has a total of 7 hands. 2 left hands, and 5 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Here's his second pair of hands. These are some default hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. And he has 3 more right hands. This one looks like it could be a gripping or grabbing hand to hold something pretty large. And here's another right hand. This is a gripping hand with a much smaller grip. And he has one final right hand. This is a pointing hand. Now let's look at his heads. He has a total of 5 of them. Here's a look at his first head. This one has the glasses on, and the wrap is in neat condition. Here's his second head. This one also has the glasses on, and the wrap is a little bit in disarray. And his third head. This one has no glasses on, and the wrap is neat, clean, good condition. Here's his fourth head. This one also does not have the glasses on, and the wrap is in a little bit disarray. And then we have his fifth head. In this one, the wrap is starting to come off, and you can see, well, nothing underneath. Then we have his sort of chest pieces, different parts of his shirt. One is a scarf, and one looks to be his pajama bottoms. Here he is with his first chest piece on. This one has the scarf. And with his second piece, this one looks like his pajamas. And he has a couple extra pieces of wrap. These he can hold as if he's taking his bandages off. Here's a look at the Invisible Man, holding those extra wrap pieces, looking like he's taking the wrapping off his face. And now for his pile of books and fire tongs. We have a stack of books. You can see at the top, Advanced Chemistry and Physics. And then we have these fire tongs. He can sit there in his chair, robe, poking at the fire. Here he is, carrying that big pile of books into his office. And then, here he is, holding those fire tongs. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.6 inches tall, which can translate to just under 17 centimeters, and for his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, you're going to rotate side to side. He can look up and down. Not a whole lot. Put that little scarf thing in a little better. He does have articulation both at the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck, but considering that, it's still a very limited range of motion. He can tilt his head a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. Single jointed elbow goes in much more than 90 degrees. Very nice with rotation. His wrist can rotate, and they're hinged, although it's really hard to get any use out of that because the sleeves. Torso is one solid piece. Ball joint in the waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, they only go out about this far. Severely obstructed from the robe. We have single jointed knees inside of there. They go back about 90 degrees. There is rotation, although it's hard to access any of the articulation under there. He does have, articulation in the hips. Can't really do much because of this robe. And then his ankles. Forward and back. Rotate. I guess that's in the knee. I'm not really having the feet do it much. And then tilt rock, at least a little bit. Here's a look at the Invisible Man, removing his wrap, exposing nothing. Now let's check him out. Next is some other action figures, starting off with some other Neca Universal Monster figures. Here's this robe version of the Invisible Man, next to the suited versions. On the left we have the color version, on the right the glow-in-the-dark version. Now I would assume eventually we're going to get a black and white version of both the suited and a robe version of the Invisible Man. It only makes sense. Here he is, with some other Universal Monster Neca figures. These are like the OG of monsters. Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the Mummy, and the Wolfman. And with some more Universal monsters. The creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom, and the Bride of Frankenstein. And while maybe not some Universal Monster figures, here he is with some more old school monsters. Nosferatu and Professor Burke from London After Midnight. Here's the Invisible Man, next to some more Neca modern horror icons. Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Pinhead from Hellraiser. And here he is, next to the most recent Neca figures that I've gotten. We have the Scorched Xenomorph from Alien Romulus, the Bio-Exorcist Beetlejuice, Ardith Bay from The Mummy, and the 50th anniversary Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now let's check him out. Next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Neca figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figures, all from Neca Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some Diamond Select toys. Here's the Invisible Man, next to a golden Oreo. And here he is, with some McFarlane and DC Direct figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So this is a pretty nice Invisible Man figure, but he has a couple flaws. Mainly, the articulation is very limited. He has nothing going on the torso, and that doesn't really bother me much, but the legs are almost useless. The articulation is there, you just can't really do anything with it. He could probably use a few more regular type accessories. We have 5 heads, and I appreciate that, but I didn't really need each version of a head with the bandages crisp and clean, and then another version of each head with the bandages a little bit in disarray. Just seems kind of unnecessary. If I had to rate this figure, first thought is 7 out of 10. The articulation is a little bit bothersome, so I'm going to bump him down to a 6.5. He's also a little bit shorter than the suited Invisible Man figures, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's a nice figure, but with a few opportunities. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.